All right, this is my first video ever, fairly technology challenged, so we will see how this goes. I'm going to do a website, and it's going to be on gambling. It's going to be on wagers, and mostly the NFL. I realize there's a lot of channels, a lot of websites out there about gambling. Hopefully mine's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try to implement some things that I would like to see on some of those websites, channels, videos, that sort of thing. I'm going to make a wager on every single game, but it's not going to be just a side. Because I don't always like the side. Vegas, no, they're good at what they do. There's a reason they make money. There are just simply some games where I don't like either side. I'm just not sure how it's going to go. And there are so many times where I go ahead and make a wager on one of those, and I end up losing by half a point. And I'm like, okay, that's just crazy. But I am going to make a wager on every game. Like I said, it just won't always be the side. Sometimes it'll be an over-under. Sometimes it'll be a team total or a prop. But I'm going to make a wager, one wager on every single game. One of the other things I'm going to do is the following week, I'm going to go over each and every one of those wagers. I like when people hold themselves accountable, which is what I'm going to try and do. The other fun thing I'm going to do, or a couple of fun things I'm going to do, is I'm actually going to play every single one of my picks in one of the gambling websites. The other thing I'm going to do just for fun is I'm going to play every single one of my wagers as a parlay. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm only going to put $1 on it, but the odds are going to be pretty high at that point, so it could be kind of fun. All right. Another thing I wanted to do is just let you know about some of my personal biases. I like it when I'm reading or listening to other people on their picks and their analysis, when I know what their biases are. I'm a huge Seahawks fan. I grew up in Washington State, spent a lot of time in Idaho. So I'm, like I said, a Seahawks fan, but I'm also a Boise State fan. So I like to kind of follow the teams who have Boise State players or coaches in this case. So just kind of keep that in mind. I try to overcome those as much as possible, but they're called biases for a reason. All right, week 7. Wish I had done this sooner, but here we go. Jaguars and the Saints. They're Thursday night. I'm going to play the under. I got it at 40.5. It's pretty low, but in case you didn't know, the Saints have hit the under 12 times in a row. That is crazy. So it makes me a little bit nervous, like has Vegas caught on and are they creeping this down lower? We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and play it just because it's been hitting so much. It'd be crazy not to. I mean, at some point the streak's going to end. So hopefully it's not this week. But man, the Saints defense is sneaky good. Trevor is kind of banged up his knee a little bit in the last game, and you just can't run against the Saints. So I think both teams are going to struggle. I mean, the Saints' offense has not been good, and I think the Jaguars will struggle a little bit with Trevor being a little banged up and against the Saints' defense. So I'm going to play the under 40.5. Lions and the Ravens. This will be a good game. This might be the best game on the docket. I'm going to go with the Lions +3. The Lions, they're just better than people think. And the Ravens are still battling some injuries, and they also played in London last week. And I think that teams coming back from London tend to play a little sluggish. So if you don't like the Lions +3, you could just play the Lions to cover the spread for the first half. I didn't look that up to see what it was, but if you're expecting the Ravens to come out sluggish, which they probably will, this would be a good play. And it's one I might actually go back and play as well. Raiders and Bears. God, this is one of those ones I talked about where I don't like either side. Both these teams are horrible. I don't have the odds on this because it's not posted because it's only Wednesday, but I'm going to take Crosby over 0.25 sacks. He's averaging almost a sack a game. The Bears are in the top 3 for surrendering sacks. I just think Crosby gets a sack in this one. Like I said, I don't like the side. I don't like the over-under on this one necessarily because, the Bears have been up and down. Obviously, neither quarterback is probably going to play in this one. So I just think the defenses are going to dominate. So, maybe the under hits. Wouldn't be a bad play. I'm just going to stick with Crosby over 0.25 sacks. Like I said, don't know what the odds are yet, and I wasn't able to put this one in my week-long parlay, but all the other ones I'm going to read off. I've already made that wager. Browns and Colts. I'm going to take the team total on this one. I'm going to take the Colts under 18.5. The Browns defense is scary good. Their offense isn't that good, and whether Watson's there or not, I mean, he's been so inconsistent. So I don't really want to play a side here because you just don't know who's going to show up. But I'm going to take the Colts under 18.5. Minshew has not looked good here the last couple of weeks. I still think he's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, but man, against this defense, I just don't know. I'm going to stick with the under 18.5 for the Colts. That's my wager on this one. The Bills and the Patriots, I'm taking the Bills minus 8.5. It's a pretty big number, but man, last week was kind of like a head coach's dream. You know, your team your team wins, but didn't play very good. So the team doesn't get a big head. Your coaches have plenty to coach on, and it's the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots might be the worst team in the league. A lot of people out there saying Belichick needs to be fired. I think Belichick, the coach, should get another year, but I think Belichick, the general manager, needs to be fired. He has not drafted well at all. I mean, if you watch the Herd, Colin has been on this for a couple of years now. He does not draft well. So, I mean, right now, Belichick, the coach, he has no good players to work with, except for on the defensive side, but two of their best defensive players are out for the whole year. So, yeah, I think Kraft needs to probably bring in an actual general manager to help bring in talent and handle the draft and just let Belichick coach. But anyways, I like Buffalo minus 8.5. This one could get ugly. Commanders and the Giants. All right, neither team is good. I just think the Giants are worse. So I'm going to take the Commanders minus 2. I don't even care whether Daniel Jones plays or not. I don't think either team is good. But like I said, I think the Commanders are less bad. Yeah, there you go. Falcons and Buccaneers. I'm going to take the Buccaneers minus 2.5. And this really comes down to basically the Falcons quarterback Ritter. I think at home, I mean, he looks promising, like maybe the potential to be an average quarterback in the NFL. On the road, man, every time I see him play on the road, I wonder when Heineke's coming in. He just has not looked good. I think the Bucs are going to bounce back, and I think Baker plays well enough to cover the spread on this one. Steelers and Rams. Man, I'm taking the Rams minus 3. The Rams are better than we thought. McVay has that young team playing well. The Steelers, man, Pickett has been so inconsistent. And with Aaron Donald at home, man, I think he's going to harass Pickett into some mistakes, and I think the Rams are going to cover this one. The other thing you might look at is the Rams to cover in the first half, either as a parlay or instead of the game total. McVay is great at scripting plays. I know last week didn't quite turn out. I tried to play this one last week with the first half, but overall, in general, the Rams are really good in the first half. And so if you wanted to kind of hedge a little bit, you might just play the Rams to cover the first half, especially with the Steelers traveling. All right, Seahawks, Cardinals. My Seahawks blew one last week. They had a chance to win it. Totally outgained the Bengals as far as yardage goes. Couldn't pull it out. Bunch of mistakes down in the red zone. Not good. I think they're going to come out angry against the Cardinals. And while I like the Cardinals, I think their coach has done a good job. That team plays hard. You can never count out the Cardinals. But I just think the Seahawks are a better team. They're going to come out angry at home, and I think they cover the 7.5. All right. Packers, Broncos. Oh, my God, this is going to be an ugly game. I don't like either one of these teams. Neither one is good. At the beginning of the year, I thought these are two teams that could have been battling for wild card spots in their conferences, but man, not anymore. I just think Jordan Love's not as good as we hoped, and I thought with Peyton and Wilson, I thought that would help the offense, but I was banking on Denver's defense being good again, and they are not. They are bottom of the barrel. So I don't like the side because I just don't know how this is going to go. I'm just going to take the under. I just think with two bad teams, I just don't think either one finds a way to get a whole lot of points in this one. So I'm going to take the under. The other thing I was going to say is Aaron Jones is supposed to be back, so I think LaFleur is going to want to run the ball a lot, and I think Sean Payton's going to want to run the ball a lot. The Packers give up almost 150 yards rushing a game. So I think with all that running, I just think there's not going to be a lot of room for a lot of plays. I think the clock's just going to tick, 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 and there's just not going to be enough time to hit the over. So I'm going towards the under of 45. All right, Chargers and Chiefs. Man, Herbert did not look good on Monday. I think that broken finger is bothering him more than he lets on. Chargers played on Monday. The Chiefs had played last Thursday, so the Chiefs get 10 days rest, and the Chargers are only playing on 6. The Chiefs are at home. They're the better team. I just think they cover the spread at 5.5. Everything lines up for them. I know the Chiefs have offensively underperformed a little this week, but man, their defense, the Chargers' defense has not been very good. I just think, like I said, Chiefs are the better team. They're at home. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to take the Chiefs minus 5.5. Dolphins, Eagles. Whew, this might also be a battle for the best game of the week. The passing game for the Dolphins is amazing, and the Eagles have struggled a little bit in the passing defense, but the Eagles are coming off a loss, and they're going to be at home. So man, this is going to be a close one, and it's the highest over/under on the board, but I'm taking the bait. I'm taking the over. I just think both teams are going to score on this one. The Miami defense has not been great, but their offense is amazing, and I think the Eagles are going to have a rough day, a rough week of practice, and I think they're coming out firing on all cylinders. I'm taking the over of 51.5. All right, 49ers and Vikings. This is another tough one. The 49ers lost at home. They're going to come out, or not at home, but they lost last week to the Browns. They're going to come out angry. The Vikings don't have Justin Jefferson. And on the injuries that the 49ers had, I don't think any of them were on defense. I think they were all on offense. I think this defense is going to come out angry. I think I'm going to play the Vikings under 18.5 points. If it was out, I would also maybe look and see what Kirk Cousins' pass attempts is, and I'm probably going to take the over on that, because I think the Vikings are going to be playing from behind. They don't run the ball well, and the 49ers defense is just stacked against the run. So I think Cousins is going to have to throw a lot trying to play catch-up. So I'm going to see what it is when it comes out. It wasn't available yet, but I'm going to see what the Cousins attempts prop is, and as long as it's, 32, 33, I'm probably going to play it. All right. I did place that $1 parlay on all of these, obviously except for the sack one because it's not out. And it's plus 236,136. So my $1 could win me $2,300. Not going to hold my breath on that one. But, all right. That's my very first video. We'll see how it goes. Thanks a lot.